butthole.
But
I can't say the word that I want to say because it's against the terms of service of Twitch, apparently.
I want to know the word.
Well,
I know the word because I said it.
We're very neurospicy today,
LOL.
and we are live. Hi, everybody.
I mean, we're neurospicy today, but spicy in general. Y'all didn't come here for a lack of seasoning.
Hello,
seasoning.
everyone, and welcome on into a new episode of Ampistrano. We are on episode 28, The Smoldering Flames. I am D&D Doran Lee, but before we get started and get into the veil and all that jazz, we're going to do a quick go around of who we are and say any announcements that we may have. So I'm going to jump over to Duval.
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday to you, or if you're watching this later or something, like, and it's just a day ending in Y, that's also cool. You're allowed to have those days ending in Y because they happen regardless. Anyway, my name is Jacob Plick, Duval King Jacob, wherever one can be found. I use he, him pronouns, and today I am playing Weldor. He's a total light cleric. He also uses he, him pronouns. And it's going to be a fun day. A couple of announcements at the top for me, myself, and I. Tomorrow, over on Twisted TV /Somatic Games, episode 54 of Duval and Dragons, the show that I DM, is a really big episode. So you should go check that out. Some big reveals and probably maybe the biggest battle of the whole show. So come check that out. Secondly, this coming Thursday, the season 2 premiere of Outcast and Outclass, our Strength of a Thousand's Adventure Path actual play over on Twisted TV /Waffles Maple Syrup will be premiering Thursday. That's the whatever day, the 24th, the 25th, whatever it is, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Lots of really cool shit happening behind the scenes to help you catch up with all of the shenanigans of season 1 and emotional damage that you missed out on if you haven't. Check that out. Yeah. Sure, that's me. Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you so much, Duval. Let's jump on over to Sin. Sin, who are you? Who are you playing?
Who are any of us really?
Oh my god.
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew the question was coming.
I mean, hey, you did. Like, if you're gonna set me
knew.
up, right? So, hi, my name is Sinziak, your resident sunflower person. I am Sinziak in most places, whether in front of or behind the camera. And today I am playing Blackstone. I have the he and they pronoun, so hello from the he thempire. Also, Blackstone has they pronouns, but he is also fine.
Thank you so much. Sin, let's jump over to Robo.
It's me, RoboGoblin. You can find me at TTRPKs on everywhere. My pronouns are any, all pronouns. Today I'll be playing Toby, whose pronouns are he, him. And tomorrow you can catch me over at the twitch.tv /Latinx in games. We're going to have an Emerald Templar with D'Angelo as the GM, and it's going to be raising money for the Latinos in Gaming fundraising. So drop by, donate if you can, and it's going to be really good. I'm also gonna do boyfriend reveal right now, so come here. No, don't be shy. No, nobody's gonna. Okay, come on. So here's my boyfriend. Here you go. My boyfriend.
It's a bee.
Boyfriend reveal.
Is it a bee?
I guess.
Or is it a...
But it's like this is
looks
the
like a
nose, and like
You're dating and you don't know what they are?
I only asked because I feel like
tiger.
it could also be a cat. So I'm just like,
but yeah, that's me.
Be cat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robo, for that. April.
Is your only boyfriend, Robo?
Yeah.
Actually, yes. Sorry to forget all my boyfriends right now, but we are a polycule. So
Yay!
you're welcome,
We are
everybody.
all Robo's boyfriends.
We're all
Yes,
Robo's
true.
boyfriend.
Yes. Yeah.
Amazing. April.
Hello, I am Robo Boyfriend number 4. You can find me all over the internet as April Raygun. And today I would have played Oria, the Monk and Moon Fairy.
Woo! Amazing. And last but certainly not least, Fair.
Hi, I'm Fair, Robo Boyfriend number 1, because yes, I claim that. And nobody can stop me. Today I will be playing Deodora Shadesun, your resident Battle Master Fighter. And I have two announcements. One, I am still helping my friend crowdfund to move out of her home by the end of next month. I'm posting a link in Twitter right now, but the too long didn't read version is that her ex is basically forcing her out of their home. So if you have any money to spare, please do so. She's a very sweet person. We've been friends for like 15 years at this point. She's queer, indigenous, and disabled, so she has a hard time. What is happening? Sorry, this is what happens when you get distracted with the overlay. And she has a hard time finding work because of her disability. So if you can help out, that'd be great. And then my second announcement is Jordan is pushing commissions for producing, overlay creation, things like that, and you should definitely check out her stuff, her page. She's also starting to DM on Start Playing, so if you're interested in playing a game in the world of Ampistrano, you should absolutely check that out. Links are on her Twitter, which I think is social. Okay, and send her money through coffee. Like, come on, just do it. I can't remember which. There it is. I did it right. So check out her Twitter to find all her links and information about commission and stuff. Thanks.
Thanks, Fair. Go ahead and take a point of inspiration. I know that's not why you did it, but
You're
so mean.
Sure. I'm so mean.
You're so mean.
Mean.
Thank you so much. Amazing. And everyone's fantastic. Please go give them a follow. Seriously. All right, couple more quick announcements. So you may have seen it popping up in chat, but today's episode of Ampistrano is sponsored by Kaboa. Kaboa is a TTRPG setting for 5e, Pathfinder, and CFR. Uncover the lore on the people and creatures of Kaboa, based on the cultures and stories of South America. The setting guide includes 2 new classes, over 12 subclasses, and an innovative new form system that can produce over 1,400 unique races. You can become a backer for Kaboa for the next 19 days. They just added, as of this morning, a gift tier. This gift tier allows for a copy of Kaboa to be donated to someone in the global south in an effort to make this game as accessible as possible to others. You'll see below popping up, there are some of the information. The artwork is so beautiful. I have just been staring at it. It is absolutely fantastic. And I would love to see if we can help out and get them closer to those stretch goals. Thank you, Lamia, for posting the link. If you use our link in chat, that will take you directly there. And if you can't back, please retweet or spread around on the socials. It's a fantastic group. And I would love to see that continue to go forward. We also have a teaser trailer that will play during the break. So thank you so much to Kaboa. Right now as well, you will also see that there is an awesome apparel drive for Take This happening from now until Wednesday. So Wednesday the 24th, you can purchase some Champions of Psychology apparel from Idle Champions. From there, you'll receive an exclusive code to claim goodies for both Idle Champions and Bushwhacker 2. So keep an eye on socials. That's where a lot of us have been posting the link. It'll also be occasionally popping up in chat with exclamation point take this drive. That will be popping up as well. And because I realized I forgot to show this earlier here, I mean, look at that beautiful Kaboa art. Again, just 2 phenomenal things. If you can go and support either of them, I would highly recommend it. So yeah, that's it for both of those. We are still working on our Patreon. We have some awesome interviews that are in the wings. I'll be interviewing Fair/Deodora in a couple of weeks as we do a deep dive on Deodora and their journey through Ampistrano so far. So if you have questions or things that you would like to find out more about, go check out our Patreon. We also have a number of goals that are in the works. We update it 3 times a month on Tuesdays. A very special thank you to Sphinx, Seven, Mama Strange, Fluffy Snowfall, Chris Gideon, Buzz Lightyear, and Lily42. Thank you so much for your support. And finally, we will be off next week, but don't worry, there will be a mini marathon of episode 27 and episode 28 to catch you up on everything as we take a well-deserved rest. We will be back on Saturday, June 3rd, with episode 29. A lot of words.
Back on June 23rd.
No, no, too long. All right. And just a quick little shout out. Wes, aka Thirst Trap Moth, and Carrying Comfort updated our video, so we now have the wonderful Duval and Weldor in our opening video, which I think we're about to go watch, unless anybody else has something else they want to plug.
Love you, Wes.
All right. And without further ado,
you're not here, but you know.
Let us go beyond the veil.
Wasn't what you saying an hour ago.
Of Ampistrano, Lord.
Man, fuck Wes.
Butts.
And we're back. I love how just absolutely unhinged everybody is. So, when last we left our adventurers, they had originally been sent here to Vybrin to look into the disappearances that had been plaguing the village. The group was quickly put to the test as an all-out assault happened. They had been investigating more of these stones and the corruption that had seemingly expanded outside of Illipin, when on a stormy evening, several flowers spawned into humanoid creatures that began seizing many of the citizens and attempting to flee. Jeremy, the dismissed Crown's Guard, also showed that he had also been corrupted, turning into a massive crab-like creature that stalked the boardwalks. Weldor recognized the face of a large, lumbering creature that began rampaging through the town and downing several buildings, the face of Levi Benir, a townsperson that had been missing for the last 3 weeks. Amongst the chaos, rain, and fire, a robed figure with a skull mask managed to subdue Blackstone and escape with Eliza, a village leader, as the assault ended. With several in the party injured or exhausted, the group collected themselves, rescued who they could, and headed to Weldor's house. There, Weldor divulged that the believed-to-be destroyed city of Felk is alive and has been active for the last few years, and that he, along with several others in the village of Vybrin, had been entrusted with this secret, ensuring that this knowledge remained close. Cal spoke up with concern about the spread of the corruption in these crystals, and the concern about it impacting his home, advising that he needed to check on things before returning to Illipin, and perhaps of being a better help in a different role. As the group had the remaining gumbo and rested for the evening with a goodbye, but not forever, dawn broke and Cal had embarked onto the road. While Blackstone mended portions of the village, Theodora investigated Jeremy and Orquill's houses, finding several stems underneath the house that resembled the flowers that had attacked the evening prior. Eventually bringing the entire group to Jeremy's house to go over the recent discoveries, Weldor mentioned not knowing a person named Orquill. Toby stated the bag of holding felt heavy and seeming slightly annoyed. After handing the bag over, several blackened, tarred vials of what used to be health potions fell to the ground, and the bag itself had lost all of its magical capabilities. Meanwhile, the wings from Clara now glowed a slight teal cover. Toby mentioned feeling a bit better now that he had distance, and that he had been feeling angry, annoyed, and not themselves for the past week. They passed this info through a cinematic record of telepathy and sending to Deidre as the group pondered what to do next. And that is where we pick up. It's mid-morning, as all of you are standing in the small house previously owned by Jeremy, one of the Crown's guards. The cot has been rolled up and shoved into the corner of the cabin. Several chairs are on their sides with scratch marks trailing from where they have been dragged in the previous day's cleaning. On the wooden planked floor lies 2 winged gems glowing a faint teal, and several vials containing a black tar-like substance, the smell of decay emitting from those vials. It's quiet, save for the lapping of the water below and around the docks as the current continues to move downstream. A hush has fallen upon the cabin. What do you do?
I think we were about to head to the tavern, yeah?
We were.
Okay, so you want to head to the tavern. All right. You all step out back onto the platforms. Smoke rises from several of the homes still singed from last night's battle. The docks and platforms are abandoned. Not a soul moving around, which for you, Weldor, is a stark contrast to how you left it several weeks ago. Normally by now, trade would be happening. Boats would be setting off to begin catching fish, while the sounds of children being taught in their homes or playing would fill the air. You continue forward. In the center of town, in the small off-kiltered shack, which still remains to be half engulfed by water and vegetation, you all know this to be the tavern, the Weary Wanderer. Seemingly has escaped a lot of the damage from last night's battle. You all continue in, heading towards the left door, heading downstairs into a subterranean tavern. You can see that today the windows which see into the water surrounding Vybrin is especially murky today, with several pieces of debris floating with planks of wood, the shell of several boats, and more now decorating the top and the floor of the water. Tables have been pushed to create small dividers amongst the room. You can see several families sitting around with some food on platters with the look of exhaustion and shock, wearing blankets. Several kids are staring at the windows of the tavern as a large crocodile lounges forward, allowing the current to carry them past. Aldira, the half-human, half-water genasi, has her hair pulled up in a ponytail and apron, slowly bringing bowls and cups to individuals around the room. Next to her, you see a tall, blue-scaled humanoid. He stands about 6'5", wearing an apron and dirtied white shirt with black pants. To the side, carefully sheathed, is a large sword. He has black bristles growing from his forehead backwards and seems to be surveying the room while holding the tray for Aldira. Weldor, you would know this to be your friend, Seamus Murdoch, Aldira's partner. He gives you a small nod upon noticing you.
He returns it.
All right.
And sort of just continuing to sort of scan the room and not like a yo, I'm here, what up type of situation, but like it's a Hito's presence can be important to people.
Sure. And you do see a couple of the families, they're largely like sectioned off. Seemingly there's just not enough room in this tavern and inn, so they've had that. But you do see, like, upon kind of noticing your presence, a couple of them have perked up, a couple of them look a little bit relieved upon seeing that you are okay, that this group that you are with is okay as well.
Is there anyone in particular that's injured that is like really, really hurt?
And I'm imagining you're kind of walking around at this point. So one thing you'll notice is everybody that's in this kind of the main tavern area, not injured, at least physically. Everybody is looking very shocked and in states of exhaustion, but physically, no. You would know that based upon prior experience, whenever the town has had an influx of injured or illness, that oftentimes they have been kind of quarantined in the rooms or even the meeting rooms, and that this is more of a space for kind of, they've triaged as needed.
Right. So yeah, he'll kind of walk up to where oh my god, I already forgot his freaking name.
Seamus?
Yep. And sort of just walk up. Looks real good in here. I'm being honest, I don't know what I expected when I walked down here.
He gives you a nod, and you kind of see that he's got a couple bandages on his forehead from like a deep cut. Aldira, you sense her handiwork. It was the one that kind of healed him up a bit, and he kind of gives you a nod. Again, also surveying the group around you. Could have been a lot worse. Good to see you and your group made it out all right.
Yeah, it was a bit touch and go there for a good while. And he'll kind of spin around to everybody, assuming they're behind him. Couldn't have done it without all these fantastic people here.
And Seamus will kind of nod at each of you. Holding out the tray, there are several small, they have run out of bowls. So they're using teacups which have small, portions of gumbo and bread to kind of help and just trying to do what they can.
Yes. Speaking of that, I brought some leftovers from home.
Perfect.
Should get at least some folks through the next few days at least.
I think that's wise. You know where to drop it off.
Yeah. Well, I think, again, not speaking for everybody, but I think we're gonna see if we can go catch up with wherever this person that took Eliza. I think we got a pretty decent lead.
Good. Sounds good. Sorry, Farrah, did you want to say something?
Not anything in relation to this conversation.
Okay.
So you can finish up and then I'll let you know.
Cool.
Yeah. But he'll just continue. But before we plan to head out today, but you know of any place I might be needed?
Well,
before I go?
Several of the rooms, there's some folks who could probably use some healing. And
right.
Ophelia and Hanover are in one of the rooms with Mira. I know they had mentioned wanting to see you before heading out.
That was my next question, to see where they might have ran off to.
They're in Eliza's usual boardroom.
All right.
Do you happen to need anything repaired by chance?
Thankfully, the tavern didn't really sustain much damage. Really, it's just the town and people's spirits. You kind of see as he's saying that, like, he gets slightly hushed with that kind of statement, not wanting to add further to kind of the mood and everyone feeling so low.
Oh, well, in that case, wait, we're supposed to use our inside voices. Okay. I have something that I think might be helpful for that.
Oh? What would that be?
Well, who in the tavern likes telling stories?
He just slowly points at Weldor. It's usually him.
Well, Weldor, would you mind helping me with something then?
What did you have in mind?
Well, and I do the whole thing where I'm like, I'm attempting to whisper things.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, hey, Weldor, what if you tell everybody a story and then I help them see the story you're telling?
Is this in sort of help mend some spirits there? Is this supposed to be a cheery type of scenario?
I suppose it doesn't have to, but I do remember that one time when we were at there was a festival that we were in a couple of weeks ago, and people were gathered to hear a story. The story, I think, ultimately was sad, but people were drawn into the story. They enjoyed themselves. I think that might be helpful here. Especially because people like going to taverns to tell stories and drink things and fight people. They're very versatile buildings.
They are indeed. I tell you what, let me go check in with the folks downstairs I guess downstairs or in the rooms. First, make sure everybody's at least on a decent way towards the up and up. And then I'll think of something. How's that sound?
I look at Seamus.
He looks back at you, kind of indifferent.
Okay, well then, we'll see if we can do something helpful when Weldor gets back from... Where are you going?
Oh, and to meet with a few folks. First of all, make sure no one's suddenly gonna make a trip beyond the veil first. And then secondly, at least not involuntarily, I should say, kind of looking towards Orion. But in the meantime, also need to let some of the folks know about our plans.
Oh, okay.
And anyone's welcome to come with if they'd like.
I'll go with. I will. I can come with you.
All right. Dear Dora.
Yeah, as this conversation is happening, I kind of pull Oria to the side, not too far, but just like so we're not interrupting conversation, and just ask her, do you see that old man here? In this room?
Which old man?
The one who gave us the cookies.
Is the cookie man here?
Okay.
No, I do not see him.
Okay.
Should we go check on him?
Oh,
I have more cookies.
I'd snatch those. I slapped the cookies.
I did not take them out. I just remembered I had them.
I-
Don't touch my cookies.
No, I think I like after I ask and she confirms that she doesn't see him, I will let her know what we found at his house. So maybe we don't eat those cookies again.
Remind me what you found at the house.
whatever corrupted Jeremy came from the old man's house.
Oh, yes.
And there
Well,
were
the cookies seem to be fine, though.
lots
I
of
checked the
things seem to
cookies.
be-
Are the cookies
lots
still
of
okay?
things seem to be fine, and then they're not fine.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll sniff
I mean,
one.
you're welcome to do a perception investigation check.
I could perception check these cookies.
Sure.
I got perception.
Inside check on cookies.
Yeah. Where were you on the night of? I don't know.
18.
I'm a raisin.
God
You screamed so high that the mic did not pick you
Yeah,
up.
it didn't catch you at all.
Not at all.
No, it seems like they're regular cookies.
Well, I don't know if it came. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nothing is kind of standing out of place about it. So
I seem fine.
Lots
I'm
of
not saying I
things
don't
seem
believe you.
fine
I'm just
these
now curious
days.
about what it was that did it then, and if he did it, or if the food did it. Can we not trust food? Is food bad?
Food isn't bad, but I feel like there are bad people who make food.
That's true.
I just, based on what we saw at that house, I think we should just be a little more cautious than we were before. Until we know more.
Probably right.
I feel like I'm not probably right, I feel like I'm just right.
My wisdom's too high for that. I would do. Okay, never mind.
What were you gonna do?
Absentmindedly eats the cookie in hand, thinking.
Oh my god, I spear tackle you into hell. I just... What we saw there suggested that there was more to this man than just being an old newcomer.
Well,
And
I'll save these to give them to just so they can test them.
Yeah. I think
But I
that's
won't.
good.
I won't mess with them right now. But we should take a. So we can't trust anybody, really, is what I'm finding out.
I guess.
Everyone
Or
who's been
we
nice to
should
us has
be-
tried to kill us recently.
Well, Pity-Weather wasn't nice. And she tried to
Any-
kill us.
Anyone who kind of tolerated us.
She
tried
didn't
to
even
kill
do
us.
that. She didn't do that.
She did kind of tolerate us. We had to talk to her. A
She
couple times.
tolerated Cal. We didn't know her. She was kind of a bitch.
Everyone we don't know is trying to kill us. God.
I feel like that's a better way to phrase it. Maybe not entirely true, but like I feel like it's just more of a general statement, but you know, it's not untrue.
While we're having this conversation, is anyone acting weird here?
why don't you make
Just,
a
you know, making
perception
sure.
check?
Come on. Not nearly as good as the cookie check. That's a 7.
You always roll
No?
good when it doesn't
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, they're processing a lot of
Absent-mindedly eats
things
cookie.
currently. So it's a very kind of docile kind of mood, very
Okay.
somber mood. So no, as far as you can tell, no.
Well, Didor, we should probably try to rest a little bit and then leave as soon as possible. I don't know if it's
Right.
smart to stay in the same place for too long.
No, I agree with you. I just want to make sure that we're not leaving this village any worse than we found it.
Takes a look around. Oh, I think there's no way for us to leave this worse than how we found it.
You know what I mean.
But half of
Like,
the half of the build. I did put out most of the fires, but there are no roofs on half of these buildings now.
but I mean, the people are still alive.
Most of them, I think, are. I think we did a good job, as good as we could have.
The ones who didn't get taken before we came here. I just
Do you-
don't
Oh
want
wait,
to be the
do you
cause
think-
of any more strife.
Jordan, out of character. Do people get taken?
No, no one got
Okay,
taken
making sure.
in the battle from last night.
Okay, didn't know if we had to go chase anyone
I'm sorry.
down.
I was talking about the people who went missing before we even got here. Is what I
Correct.
mean.
That's fine. I
Um,
wanted to clarify that there weren't people that we should be looking
No.
after.
Besides
Like,
Eliza.
safe.
Eliza was the only one taken as of
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want anything worse to happen to these people because we were negligent.
Well, what do you think we can do?
We should follow Weldor and see if maybe the old man is downstairs or wherever they're
Okay.
going. I kind of tuned out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention at all. There was more snacks.
Yeah. I got distracted by the food.
There were two old men talking. I just zoned out. But yes, you're right. We should follow Welda. We should find out, and see what's going on.
Yeah. And then I think the plan is to leave today. So.
Sounds good to me.
I do want to make sure, like, while we're in the tavern, that Sparky's out and sort of at my heels, and, like, you know, since I'm training him how to, like, hunt and detect things, like, just to, like, for him to be on his little guard, so that so that I kind of have that extra view.
Sure. Can definitely do that. He's staying close by, seemingly has sensed and read the room and is not being as chaotic as he usually is. You see him kind of just sitting at attention, and every now and then, like, his ears perking in one way or the other as he's kind of listening around, but having a somewhat serious expression on his adorable little face as he's just kind of every now and then, like, he does the dog thing of, like, eyes are looking up at you, but as soon as you make contact he immediately looks away.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So yep.
Just that side eye, that dog side eye, like, are you still looking at me? But
I wasn't looking at you.
Yeah, so I just want him to, like, sort of be out and aware, and, like, just sort of, like, I think, you know, just on guard, especially looking for anybody who's acting strange, or like that old man who might be
Sure.
suspicious. Maybe have Aurea even describe what the man looks like to Sparky.
Mm-hmm.
He was an old man.
What?
Old. Had cookies.
You got that? Really helpful.
Just kind of those little yips. I'm just like,
Shorter than I was.
tail wags.
He was like
little bit.
a halfling or something, right? Like a
It was hard to
or a
tell. Yeah.
gnome. Okay.
He was still shorter than Aurea.
Yes.
That's not hard. Everybody in your party is shorter than you.
Yes. You can
okay.
easily do that.
So yeah, so after that I'll just move and head towards where Weldor and Toby are going.
Okay.
Now, follow Theodora. I'm trying to make my wings go less fluttery than normal, but they're still slapping some people as we walk. She
Sure.
just
Oh my
she doesn't
God.
understand.
Aurea,
Oh, yes.
can I ask you something? It
course.
might be a bit weird, but can you would you mind taking me flying with you?
I would love to do that. I'd love to take people flying. When do you want to go? Do you want to go now?
I would love that, please.
Let's go. Oh, wait. Theodora wanted us to go talk to someone to find a little man. As I look at Theodora, like, excited to go flying with, like, it's like a kid, like, but I want to go play outside, Mom.
It's fine. You described the man, so it's fine. Can I get those cookies? I'm not going to eat them.
Swoops up Toby and, like, goes to run away.
Oh my God, I just want somebody to look at them. I do
Toby, are
not
you
want to
ready?
eat them.
Yeah. Let's go. And
I'm sorry, did someone say cookies?
I'm gonna roll to hit. Just kidding.
Wait, hold on. Did someone
Did
someone say cookies?
We get
I
into
was
some PvP right now.
As I'm trying to run away.
Can I sleight of hand the wait, are the cookies in a place where it's visible to people?
They are. I put them back in my pocket as I swept up Toby, so you could. They're in my pocket. Like I didn't try to hide them.
I am going to, like, in the middle of this, just for comedic effect, April, if you are okay with it,
I'm 100%. I dig this.
I would like to try to slide.
acrobatics.
I would like to sleight of hand the cookies.
Okay, I'm trying to escape
Amazing.
Diodora.
Roll initiative. Amazing.
Can I like be giving Blackstone the help action? I'm trying to snatch Oria out of the air so she wouldn't beat you.
Sure.
That is a 23 on that sleight of hand.
No.
Why not?
Wah, wah, wah.
What
So
spells
what
do I got?
happens-
I flurry and blows myself out of here.
Oh my god. So you just knock yourself out. I stunning strike myself.
Don't you have Step of the Wind? That would make so much more sense.
It would, but
Fun fact,
you know
I'm
what?
actually out of key points, so I can't do shit.
Didn't we long rest?
You long
We long
rested.
rested.
Lone
Never
rested.
mind, I have all of my key points.
Oh my god. We long
You
rested
guys-
at the beginning of last session. You were here.
Can't
You were
catch
just
me
too
now.
excited to go.
I love you so
Oh
much.
my god.
Then yes, I will step of the wind away with Toby into the sky.
That sleight of hand was a 23.
That'll still probably get me.
Oh, it's so
Okay.
funny.
I'm
Fucking hell.
the shenanigans are abound.
Yeet.
Sorry, Spotify just decided to log me out and is now not recognizing me. So I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Okay, that's just a little bit rude.
Yeah, just a bit.
I need my move.
But yeah, the stealing of the cookies is tried.
Can I ask
So-
Jordan, what does it sound like? Like, cause Weldor like walked downstairs and then like chaos behind me. Like, I would like to understand that situation. if you
Sure.
wouldn't mind.
You can hear some possibly raised voices as probably, I don't know, Oria and Blackstone and Diodora are doing a thing now, and now Sparky is
haven't-
yipping around like.
Like, for me, I haven't said anything. I just noticed the situation, and the only thing I said
just
was
went-
cookies. And then, like what I would imagine is like a split second before Oria disappears because of step of the wind.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and I just have and I'm just holding the cookies.
Love it. Okay. That's really all you would hear. Yeah.
Cool, perfect. That's what I did to make
Blackstone?
sure.
Blackstone, can I get
Actually,
those?
hold over a second, just because also for comedic effect. Question: do we just want a bag of cookies, or do we want actual cookies?
Well, now I want actual cookies.
I also want actual cookies.
I mean, let me go to this
But
Publix
I'm
real
just
quick.
like-
I'll be right back.
I was like, do you mean these?
There should be about 7 of them like this.
My god. Just like that.
Wait, did you need these for something?
Yes. Yes, I do. I'll let you know while we're on our way downstairs.
Oh, okay. You know, Theodora, remember I told you I was like an ex-thief at one point?
Yes.
Should I continue that as a practice?
Do you want to?
It seems to come in handy.
I think you should, but I mean, maybe be discriminate about who you rob. Like, you kind of want, rob the rich, give to the poor, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Do you mean this is a thing that I'm saying as we're following Weldor in whatever direction he went. Do you mean just people who have a lot of money should have things taken from them?
People who are wealth hoarders, and who maintain the status quo by keeping people at a lower socioeconomic status.
You know, there are some people that you remind me of when you say that, but I can't put my finger on it just now.
Okay.
Oh, right. You wanted these. Are you sure these are good for you?
I'm not going to eat them.
Are they going to also... I don't know. I'm just going to hand them to you. Here.
I take them. Thank you.
But
Uh,
if you start having a bad mood, I'm going to take them back.
I would appreciate that.
Okay.
And we're going to take like a quick 5-minute break while I start out Spotify. Sorry, y'all, it's bugging me. So we will be right back in about like 5 minutes while we get this figured out. All right? See you in a
But
few
that
moments.
Before we go, like stretch, have water, and if you need to, take your meds.
Yes, do
Oh.
that. All right, we'll
Look at
be back in a couple of minutes.
I'm about to knock my death.
Buttholes.
And welcome
Great
back.
butts.
Thank you all so much for your patience, y'all. Spotify is having a moment, so we had to do some changing around, but we are back. And we are going to pick up as Weldor and the group are heading downstairs in the Weary Wanderer Tavern. And you're heading towards Eliza's meeting room, correct, Duval?
Yep. Unless there's like any sort of like doors that are ajar, and I wouldn't like peek in, but I would just kind of like see if anybody's like dying or some shit.
Okay. You can see that a number of the rooms, the doors are open, just because people are passing by. You do see a number of individuals that are injured. A lot of folks that actually Aurea and Toby had rescued from the clutches of the flowers, kind of just marked up. They have leaves on them right now. Kind of, they've run out of bandages and are not looking the greatest. They look exhausted, but not only from the exhaustion of just like last night. It ties back to what like Toby had been saying earlier of just feeling drained. So you do see there's about 4 or 5 people, or rooms rather, full of people that are looking like that.
Would they all be within, say, a 30-foot radius of me?
There's a couple that are just outside, but you could, I mean, if you're moving around as you're doing this, you could certainly get everybody.
Cool. I'm gonna burn a channel divinity to preserve life.
Okay.
And this sort of familiar sort of like oaky smell begins to emanate, and then a kind of a lime green like shockwave of energy just sort of emanates from him, and I can restore up to 40 HP to any creature within 30 feet of me, to fight them as many people as necessary. It can't restore them up to more than like half their hit point maximum, but that'll get them from, like if they have 10 HP, 0 to 5, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can easily do that, and you continue backwards towards the meeting room that you all met Eliza in the day before, although it feels like it's a completely different time at this point.
Yeah.
This door is shut as
Okay.
you approach.
Got it. And one last thing, anyone that eats my food today has, including the party, has 3 temporary hit points, and if they take a short rest, they get to add an additional D8 of hit points when they take a short rest. And with that information, I'll knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and immediately you can sense that it's a very different kind of mood from how the rest of the tavern has been. You see kind of just staring out at that large window. You can tell immediately it's Hanover, who's just kind of motionless, still covered with like splotches of mud and red, hasn't really said anything. But upon your entrance, you do see the half-elven woman with dirty blonde hair, kind of looks over at you and has been crying, has clearly been upset, and is currently kind of moving her hand along the back of who you know to be Mira, who seems to be passed out asleep, kind of clutching several pieces of, it looks like tissue, and just paper to kind of help that. Sorry, I'm trying to deal with the music. I'll just worry about it later.
All good.
So, but that's what you're able to see at this current time.
Hopefully, hopefully that'll help a little bit. Sorry I didn't make it back late last night. But how we all doing in here?
And at this point, you see Ophelia kind of stepping forward and kind of just eyeing everybody and seemingly looking very worried expression to all of you first. It's not been an easy night. Not at all.
Say the least.
You all fared okay?
All present and accounted for, I suppose.
Good. That's and you do see just a genuine relief kind of flooding all over her face before she just kind of again staring at each of you, and even giving a very small smile as she's seeing Sparky kind of just sitting there watching everything happen.
Oh, where are my manners? This is Ophelia, Hanover, and over there is Mira.
She's sleeping, but
yeah. So this is Toby, Blackstone, and Theodora.
absolute
Oh
pleasure.
wait, Toby's not here either. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, and Toby and Ori are elsewhere, but they're all right. They're doing something.
Well,
Anyway,
it's a pleasure to meet all of you. Wish we were meeting under better circumstances. I suppose, I guess, we're in your debt for keeping this place a bit safer and, well, bringing him back. I don't know what muck you dragged him out of, but,
It wasn't muck, it was stone.
it was what?
yeah.
Stone.
What in the hell were you doing?
Well, I was attempting to find some items that could help us with resolving all of the everyone up and running out, disappearing. It's got a bit too comfortable, and there's these really large lizards, typically blue ones with several legs that like to turn you to stone.
But only if you look at them.
Right.
Interesting. Well,
I was focused on making tea, so I, you know how I get.
you and your tea, yeah. Definitely understand that.
Speaking of that, do you need some?
No, just need some more rest.
All right. So, hate to make things feel a little bit more uncomfortable, but did you perhaps want to talk about the missing piece of the puzzle?
Well, and she looks kind of dazed at that question. What?
You're missing one.
And she doesn't say anything. She kind of quickly turns back to face Hanover, who has kind of placed his hand on the window, and Mira, who sighs very softly in her sleep. And she kind of just turns back to you. Yeah. He didn't make it. But hold on. And she quietly, like, you see her kind of trying to do the parent sneak of trying to go by the children, without waking them, and you see her rummaging through a bag, and eventually pulling out a small, it's wrapped in this kind of almost burlap sack, and kind of stares at it. Well, we were hoping you would come back soon from whatever you were doing, and, he had said he wanted this to be yours, so, Duval, if you wouldn't mind opening the box, please.
So.
Oh my god.
Wait, there's a real
Wait,
box?
what?
Yeah, there was
Is
an
there a
actual
real-
box.
So, Jordan sent me something.
You're not even really on the cast.
Oh.
Lord.
Oh
Where's our
boy.
presents
Okay.
at? I've never gotten a box.
Oh no.
Uh,
Hold on. Having a little trouble opening it,
That's all good.
but it is oh, there we go. Almost there.
Yep, it's fragile.
Anticipation.
It is fragile. So,
It's a little turtle.
it's a little gem turtle.
Aww.
So
It's
sweet.
a little aquamarine
Aw.
gem.
Oh my god. But now you have to be on the cast now.
And I have to stay. Now you're main cast. That's how it works.
I mean,
Yeah.
because you
Yo,
have,
stop.
the proof is, like, you have a familiar. You can't, like, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
All right, chuck it out the window. No, let's get
Wow. Oh my god. I reach through the computer and kill you.
And I think he just looks at it for a few seconds of silence. I don't. My reputation is typically I always know what to say, but words seem to fail me.
He would have wanted you to have it. He was holding it in the bag Mira was holding when everything happened. So he was hoping we had heard you were back from Eliza. So he was hoping to run into you.
Damn it. I'm so sorry.
There'll be a time to mourn. Eliza gone.
Yeah.
And the village in the state that is, they can't fall apart right now.
No. I don't suppose you can.
So I guess the question is, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I suppose that leads us into what's next. I think I might have a lead.
Right.
And it is goes directly through a very familiar place that we know very well, that others really don't.
And you kind of see her expression, she's been kind of fighting tears, but she blinks them back at that word, and she kind of gives the look to the group of, like, concern, but also, like, wait, do they know? Kind of thing. Like,
And just to resolve the question that's on your mind, that I'm sure is on your mind. I don't know if how else one could build trust or share secrets with. Typically, I wouldn't, but considering the fact that they're saviors of Vybrin, seems mighty worth sharing the information. So, yes, they do know.
Is this a moment that we're trading secrets?
Well, I suppose so.
And then I just like remove my mask in the middle of the room, just so everybody can see who they're talking to. My skin is made out of rocks.
Weldor, you've never seen Blackstone without their mask on. So this is the first real look of them that you're getting.
This is the first time I've actually seen them without the mask too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Oh wait.
Are
We're
y'all
not
are
there.
y'all
We're
back?
flying.
Are y'all-
Toby, you and I are up in the sky.
Yeah, you're not there.
Yeah,
We're on
that's
a
right.
flying mission.
Never mind. Go.
go. No, you go. I think he looks over at you, Blackstone. Well,
I'll try to-
that is something.
I'll explain later, but you know, I was made like this.
Well. And I think he just sort of he kind of sits on it for a second, and then I have some questions, but let's figure this out first.
I think as Blackstone removes their mask, Deodora sort of steps in just a little bit, protectively, just in case like there is a bad reaction, because she will fuck a room up. So just like,
Sure.
because Blackstone is something that's like rare, not really known or understood, and like she's not going to have people acting a type of way because of that. So she does sort of step in front of Blackstone just slightly,
Sure.
not blocking them, but just to make sure like people know, like, if you try something, basically knuck if you buck, like let's go.
You can see that Ophelia looks slightly taken aback, but it's no look of fear crosses her face, nothing. She looks surprised, but also not surprised at the same time, considering the conversation being had. And there's strangely, for those of you with especially kind of high insight or perception, she looks somewhat relieved, if anything. There's a familiarity that she just kind of has it's very slight, but you can see that.
Weldor takes out the opal necklaces around his neck. Probably gonna need to see if we can make a few more of these, I suppose. And he kind of has he's got a bit of a smile on his face.
Well,
Oh,
you're gonna
wait.
have to send word to Geegan. That's your business.
More
Not a
what?
problem. These opals are part of our oath of respect. Part of our keeping the secret. Felt that's what I pertain in this instance, if that wasn't clear.
Ah.
Speaking of that, it seems whoever this is, along with Eliza, it's likely they traveled directly through Felk. And last that I've tracked, seemed to have stopped, or at least the signal itself seemed to have stopped, just to the northwest of it. So, we need to travel through there and, I guess in no certain terms, get Eliza back.
Sounds like a plan. What should we do in the meantime?
Well, I know spirits are a bit broken. Hearts probably as well. But what we need to spread from a message perspective, above anything else, is that Vybrin did not fall. And Vybrin can't, because As long as there's one person that believes, Vybrin does stand, and always will.
Fair.
So whatever people need as far as supplies, and I'm happy to offer up my particular establishment if folks don't have a roof. It's a bit cozy, but it'll do for a while we're away, I think.
We'll do what we can here. I would talk to Geegan, see if maybe they'll probably need to up security on their end, but two, if there's anything that they can send our way.
If I'm being honest, it's a little late for up security because if they've already passed through there, whatever they were going to do has already happened. Speaking of that, Deodora, what was the name of this elder gentleman? Orquell, was it?
Yes, Orquell.
Do you recognize that name at all?
The name, no. We've had people go missing. We've had a couple new folks come on in, but
But you know me, I remember everyone's
you
name.
do. It's painful how much you remember everything. Yeah. You see a very slight smile kind of creep on her lips before getting serious again.
Blackstone, do you mind showing them what we saw in Orquell's house?
Oh, sure. And I think what Weldor, I don't know what Weldor would expect here, but what appears is like a projected kind of holographic image of the house. I'm using minor illusion. So there is a scaled down version of the house and the things that we found in there. I think the visual stopped just before we find out what's in Toby's bag, but just like, what was it, like seedlings for stuff that we found in there?
Yeah, and he'll kind of point out, we believe, at least the hypothesis is that the corruption and what turned people into crabs or large monsters may have started here.
Meanwhile, Blackstone's like enhance and zooming in on like the shape of what that item is as well as pointing to it.
It is Minority Report.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay. That she first off seems, she kind of jumps back slightly as you're doing the illusion. And it's kind of following everything. But you can see she's trying to be present, but she's also, her mind's kind of slightly divided at the same time.
Yeah.
But she'll comment after a moment of, we were unaware of this. It's been so hectic. It's been so hectic.
And unfortunately, whoever did this used that to their advantage to sneak somebody in amongst your people.
Well, I'd hate to think if they have friends planted in amongst the group, Weldor.
I think we're about to find out, regardless. Initially, I couldn't put my mind on the fact, why wait for me to come back? But,
Maybe they didn't know you were
someone
coming back.
No, I think they did. Or at least they were hoping.
Could have been.
They knew my name.
Right. But they didn't take you.
No.
Person
Taking me
who-
doesn't hurt me. Taking my people does.
And they did make a comment about that before leaving.
Another friend.
They showed up in your home. Like your
Yes.
actual physical house.
Correct.
On the wrong side of the door and blocking the entryway, which made it very difficult to get outside, I must say.
The window
so
was
glad-
open.
That's true.
The window was open.
Well, I mean, so I would suppose, but who stands at the entryway of a house when people are trying to leave? It's rude.
Oh, a dickhead.
That's
I thought they were humanoid. What does that mean?
I'll explain to you when you're older.
Not
The
that.
birds and the bees.
Wow.
Speaking of people,
Hmm.
are Jeremy and Levi down here?
Who?
You don't remember Levi?
I remember Levi, but I haven't seen him in weeks. What are you talking about?
Is the lizard thing or the lizard thing and the crab thing down here?
Oh. They're not here, but they're on the lower floors. That's Jeremy and Levi.
Yeah,
What?
I know. It's odd. But whatever's happening, turn them into whatever that is. Suppose the good news, considering Levi left us several weeks ago, that it's a possibility if we can figure it out, depending on the state that either of them are in, there might be a few more people that we can rescue. I don't want to quite attach hope to it just yet, but
Go ahead, Sen. You can roll insight.
I'm also gonna roll.
Go
Because
for
that
it.
was weird. What is my insight? Is it even worth it? Oh, that's pretty good.
That's a 23 on insight.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 24.
Okay. She's
Come on,
genuinely
insightful friend.
she's genuinely shocked. Because again, she didn't get a good look of these creatures. She just knew the creatures were in, and Levi's been missing. It's genuine, but it's also she's dealing with grief, so it seems it's not as clear cut as it normally possibly would be. So it's completely genuine though. Yeah, they're secure in the lower areas. You know how Seamus has like the little rooms for well, when a few people get a little bit too familiar with some of the local ales. So I believe Ignacio's down there trying to make sure, since it's not magical, trying to make sure that everything is good to go. Poor thing hasn't slept. So
then definitely need to go check on that, see if there's anything we can glean before we go, unless there's any other objections or any objections at all from anybody.
are you okay?
Been better, been worse. But I think just like you, can't afford to break down right now. Got a job to do.
She'll nod. And after a moment, kind of gives you a big hug. And you can, it's very slight, but you can feel that there's a tremble that's kind of going through her.
Would you mind joining us for story time later?
That might be perfect. Mira always, if it's Weldor or if you've got some stories, well, Mira always likes to hear it, and I know Lupin did too.
I heard Weldor tells wonderful stories.
Probably all lies, but still very good.
You wouldn't be able to tell either way.
That's very true. And she kind of gives The briefest of smiles, and kind of nods. And she'll turn around towards Mira and kind of taking her spot, just kind of lightly rubbing her back.
Yeah, he'll kind of release the hug and kind of squeeze her hand.
Be careful.
We're still in this. I'll try and be a little more careful than last time.
You better. This is too much responsibility for Hanover and I.
Kind of like size up at that. Funny. That's the last thing I told Eliza. And he'll open the door and walk out.
All right. And where are you heading next?
To see what Levi and Jeremy look like. What? Y'all can do other stuff if you don't want.
Okay. We'll pan back to, at this point, Aurea and Toby. What are y'all doing?
Also, how dare you? How dare you come for me like this? It almost got me a little. Almost got me. Well played.
Aurea and Toby, what are you doing in the meantime?
I'll have Toby. Will just have like gotten outside. So how high do you want to go, or do you want to go anywhere particular?
I just want to fly.
Flying around.
Oh, we're actually flying right now.
Yeah.
So I imagine when this gets animated at some point, because it's gonna happen, this is gonna have the soundtrack for the How to Train Your Dragon, that song that everybody knows. And Toby's just extending his hands and feeling the wind on his. It's not raining, right? It's not raining. So he's just extending his arms and just feeling all the air in his fingers, and then he looks up at Aurea and just see this beautiful other beautiful wings and just flying over and just looking at Aurea with such immense joy. And I'm gonna use this as spirit to raise back my spirits points.
If you want to go ahead and roll a d20 to see how many spirit points you get back.
I'm gonna use my trance die. Okay. That's 18.
Okay, you get 18
Nice.
points back.
To add a little bit more flavor as we're doing that, I'll like kind of dip Toby just so his like toes touch the water, and so we'll do like the water thing, and then we'll go back up in the air. We'll do a couple loop-de-loops and
Oh my god.
go through the trees and speed ups. Like it's every movie montage where a kid gets on a broom the first time to fly, or the first time, like on How to Train Your Dragon, the first time on the dragon, we'll go really high and then we'll go really fast down, and almost like we can't control it. I'll pull it back up real quick, and it's that.
I love that. Toby, this is your first time flying, correct?
Second time. The first time. Yeah.
Okay.
And with Aurea.
Yeah, that's true. Amazing. Are you all? Are you both having conversation during this time, or just experiencing the joy of flight?
Do you feel this all the time, Aurea?
Yeah, this is normal. Yelling
I love
over
this.
the wind.
I love this feeling.
Faster or anything?
Let's go faster.
Go faster. Okay. And I just keep going faster. And I'm gonna. Toby, do you trust me?
With everything in my being.
And I don't know. It says I can do it for me. I'm gonna kind of take Toby up really high, and I'm gonna slow fall, but kind of let go of Toby for a second, so you get that, like, the drop you right, the moment of complete weightlessness, and then grab him back up before the full force of gravity grabs him again.
Okay.
Oh, this is full length coming down.
Yes, 100%.
Why don't you make a dex check to see about
Oh, no.
crashing?
Oh shit! It's okay.
See how well? Luckily, there's lots of water all over the place.
Ooh, 12.
All right. You drop Toby, and as you are going to scoop up, you just barely get your hands around Toby, catching him at the last second, and kind of pulling back up out of the drop to gain some height, rather, in terms of that. But yeah.
Oh, Oria, can we
Yes.
get over the lake? There's a lake, right?
Yes. Fly over.
All right. I'll be fine. You can drop me right here.
Okay, you ready? 3,
Yep.
2, 1. I need to do a little toss. Not like
Right.
high, but just to give a little extra air. And you're like,
And I just drop down like full on Link on the Tears of the Kingdom. And
hit the A
and
button for gust.
glide over. And I just however I just do a backflip and I turn into a frog. And I just go into the lake. Oh shit, we're actually no, not a frog. A giant octopus. I just go.
Okay. And you turn into a giant octopus, landing in the lake.
Can I do that? How?
Why not? We're here.
Challenge 1. Okay, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And I
Fly
just
down.
give a big old tentacle thumbs up to Oria.
I fly over the top of the water.
And I just turn back into Toby and I just lay on the lake, just looking up, just
Okay.
seeing Oria fly away.
Amazing. And I think with that, that's an excellent time for us to take our break. So,
Hey.
amazing job, y'all. We will be back here in about 10 minutes, so hang tight while we get up, stretch, and we'll be back in just a little bit. See you shortly.
Yay.
Children, would you like to hear a story?
Yes, please.
Quero sim. Conta.
It begins when the world was new. Before the gods sent the cataclysm to destroy the Utgod, the first giant. The Utgod made works of magic and beauty unlike anything known today. Many of their works were lost in the destruction wrought by the colonizers. Now your parents are seeking clues to where these might be found.
Why were they lost? Didn't the colonizers want the Utgod relics?
The colonizers didn't care about the history or magic of Koboa. All they cared about was mage gold. Their greed and obsession twisted our land, and many of its creatures. Even now, some see these sacred relics as nothing but treasures to be bought and sold. But stone seekers, like your parents, find that which has been lost and return it to rightful hand. So much has been destroyed. Now is a time of reclaiming and rebuilding. All the things that once were will come again. Koboa.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the Sword Coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wallet there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Easy to.
I'm bored.
We can go scream at the cat for another hour.
Nah, I'm tired of screaming at the cat.
Shut up with that! Be bored no more with 1985 games. Enjoy their vast variety of products and help bring your tabletop to a whole new level. With easy-to-use dungeon sticky notes. The deck of stories holds prompts and adventure hooks for any setting, and thousands of cutout game pieces with their dungeon craft.
You've come all this way for nothing, fool! The princess is mine! You'll never get away with this, Malachor!
Write everything down in your Hero Notes journal and start your adventure today! Visit the World Wide Web address 1985games.com and find many helpful products such as their Dungeon Craft series, battle maps, deck of stories, miniatures, dungeon notes, and now VHS dice. Again, that's 1985games.com.
I am going to use my move action to calmly walk right out of the door of the house and into the street.
Okay, he's blocking the door frame, so.
Oh, that's fine. I'm, something. Let's just have this moment since they're talking. And be like, excuse me, I'd like to step outside, please.
Roll persuasion? Like,
oh my god, amazing.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
That is a 19 on persuasion.
That we've chatted about different characters being facets of your personality. You know, whether that be Olabar, or Brunor, or Robroth, or Hideaki. There's so many, and a lot of them you and I have had overlap, which has been very interesting to see. What is Weldor to you in terms of that facet of your personality? Especially now with this kind of news and revelation of like this may be paying an homage to your dad in a bit.
Yeah, which is really interesting. I was thinking about that specifically earlier today, and the word that came to mind was peace. Like, he's my peace.
butt cheeks.
Eat that, boyfriend.
And we're
Special-
back.
there's
with
special
sites
for that.
Cool. Hi, everybody. Hope you were able to get up and stretch. Go hydrate. Go grab some food. We are going to dive right back on into this. So if you're just joining us, the group has slowly made their way over towards the Where We Wander, the tavern that's in the very center of Vybrin. Took a look around to see if they could see Orquil anywhere, and unfortunately have not been able to find him anywhere. He has disappeared. They did some healing of some of the injured at the tavern, and then met with Ophelia, who informed that the villager that did not make it was Lupin, and handed over a small present to Weldor that had been made by Lupin, in the hopes of giving that to him eventually. Meanwhile, Aurea and Toby saw a whole new world as they went flying around. As they went flying around a little bit of ways from Vybrin and to blow off some steam, and did some wonderful How to Train Your Dragon movements and test runs. And we are going to be picking up from there as Aurea and Toby, you all have just kind of finished your shenanigans for the time being. What is it that you would be doing next?
I guess going back. Are they done?
Oh, we don't know that.
You don't know.
Okay. So I'm just laying belly up in the lake, just drifting with the wind. And I just look up and maybe we should just go back to check on them.
Probably. I think we're going to leave after they were done talking anyway, so we should make sure we're all ready. And I'll fly back down and up.
Yes.
Scoop up Toby and
Uppies.
We go back, but it's not like a straight back. It's still.
You're gonna do the winding kind of more of the scenic
the
route.
Long way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you both roll a perception check while you are flying around?
21.
13.
So Toby, you're kind of just taking in everything, and for the first time in a week, you're not only physically feeling lighter, you're also just mentally feeling lighter. You're not completely back to the way you were before, but your overall, there's not a dark kind of cloud hovering over you as much anymore. You're not getting as annoyed about everything around you. And that may come with a new appreciation for the wildlife and nature that is around you. So you're too busy with that and kind of reconnecting with yourself, you know, when someone gets overwhelmed and now they're just kind of having that moment to kind of realign with themselves. Or as you are kind of flying around, you have a better view, but you're also seeing the extensive damage Vybrin has faced. You're also noting that with your view that there are several paths that have been taken. You can see the clear kind of trees being pushed over a very clear path where that Vanir, that large lumbering creature, had been kind of just literally just walking in a straight line and pushing trees over. So there's a clear cut in the tops of the trees where things have been knocked over. You also notice further away, a bit more to the northwest, about it's hard to say the exact distance, but you can tell there's a small blast radius where several logs and this kind of very loose path that's there. The dirt has been pushed aside, like something kind of exploded in that direction. That's what you're able to see at this time.
Yeah. I'll point that stuff also out to Toby, so I'm not the only one. We should probably tell him about that explosion over there. Maybe that might be something.
I think it might be them.
We should go get everyone first. We shouldn't just fly over there, should we?
All right, let's go back.
All right. And you head back. Eventually.
Real quick, one of the things as we're flying.
Sure.
Toby, I think I have an idea. We should a thing we need to make.
Yeah?
If we could make like a little sling or something that you could sit in, then maybe when I fly, you could like shoot at things or just have like a seat to ride in while I fly.
Can we do that? I have something perfect for that.
Yes, excellent. Okay, good. I just wanted to get that in your head before we got there. So we would both be thinking about ways to make this work.
I need Toby and a baby Bjorn yesterday.
Battle Bjorn.
A battle
Not
Bjorn.
the baby carrier. That's literally what I was like, God damn it. Amazing.
Just wait for you to be able to sit, and I have arms free so I can punch, and you could like shoot or hit things.
All right. Yeah. I think I might have something for that. But
excellent.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. And you eventually find yourselves back at the tavern. We'll say at this point probably is when you are seeing Weldor and Deodora and Blackstone kind of milling about for a moment. Weldor, what do you look like in this time? As now you've had a moment, you're outside the room at this point, like you just left.
I think it's like he probably should take a moment to like process like both the news of Lupin and just the overall sorrow of the situation, but he essentially just is like at this point assuming that people are sort of following his lead at this point, and which they can or cannot, they whatever everyone wants to do, I'm totally cool with, but and he's heading downstairs.
Okay.
So it's more like, to answer the question on the visual, it's just like door closing and then just.
Would you still be holding the item?
Oh yeah, in his left claw. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like a like when you're like massaging your favorite coin.
Yeah. So Toby and Oria, you would see Weldor is holding something, kind of very gingerly and carefully.
I busted. See, you're not supposed to eat the cookies. Sorry, not Sin, Blackstone.
Sin, actual Sin.
It just popped in.
Who is Sin?
What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. The altitude. We went very high. My brain got a little weird. We saw a bunch of things on our flight.
Oh.
There was an explosion.
Just now?
Well, not just now, but we saw where an explosion happened.
Oh, likely an emanation from the night before.
How far away was it, would you say?
Oh, that far. I don't. April doesn't know how far it is, but I'm sure Oria. 50 flaps that way.
Flap? What the hell is a flap?
Wing flaps.
To put it to perspective.
Count how many times you flap somewhere?
Lord.
Yeah.
You know what?
God.
I love it. You would have known that it's about 15-20 minutes outside the village, further in to the Jadora wetlands.
How many flaps is that?
Not 50.
Please give us it in terms that we can understand.
Unit of measurements.
I'm not doing this.
About 150 flaps.
It's for the campaign setting guide, Jordan.
As the Oria, it's a couple of miles away as the Oria flies.
There you go.
Stop it! Stop it! You cannot.
Yes. There you go.
The way that Oria is pointing, is it to the northwest?
Yes.
Okay. So kind of looking at where Oria is pointing, seems like we'll make our way that way. There's more clues that we're thinking about things in the right direction, I suppose. Speaking of that, I suppose I should let you know that we're headed downstairs to see if that strange crab that was or is Jeremy, and the other much bigger thing that was a dear friend of mine, Levi, who went missing a few weeks ago, to see what shape they're in right now. And apparently Ignasio's downstairs as well.
It seems very reminiscent of... this does seem somewhat reminiscent of a moment that we had with... And Blackstone has, like, before leaving the room with Ophelia, has put his mask back on. Is kind of like looking at Weldor for a moment before saying, "It reminds me of Greenwich, just a small bit."
Really? In what way?
Well, the people that are downstairs, they're not in human form, are they?
I don't know. That's kind of why I want to go find out. But my speculation is that they are not in their human form yet.
Then allow me to offer this bit of advice from our previous experiences. Your connection to them as people and to their spirits will be very important for you when you see them.
Is Belsarian back? Is there
They're attacking!
Duck!
Before we go downstairs, could you look over something for me? And I take out the cookies that Blackstone stole.
Text on my pockets, confused.
Oria got these from that Orkwell person. And I did eat one before we realized that there was a potential problem.
I also ate one and I was fine.
All right. And you didn't feel any different?
No.
Oh. Blackstone, do you detect anything of the arcane from these by chance?
I haven't detected anything, but that was mostly because I was not asked.
Well,
I could attempt to do so at the present moment if you would like me to.
I would be most tickled if you could.
Are you ticklish, Weldor?
Are turtles ticklish?
He kind of coughs. I apologize. I was not anticipating that question. Since we are sharing secrets, I suppose that I will say that is indeed in the affirmative. Yes, I am. Though I will not tell you where. At least right now.
Understandable. Also, for the DM, that is a 24 on Arcana.
Okay. With that, you can see that these have been altered in some way. What are you specifically checking with that arcana?
I want to see if there is a weave of the strange types of arcane magic that we run into with things like the wings and seeds in there. I want to check for the presence of those things. And if so, in what amount?
Okay. So you are kind of really looking at these cookies, which are ranging again from kind of chocolate to their sugar cookies remaining. After a few moments, you do see a glimmer of light emitting from them. But the color and the kind of energy that comes off of it is different from what you've been seeing with the stones and such. Doesn't seem like it's zapping energy. These seem like cookies that were magicked to give a little bit of a boost, very reminiscent to Weldor's cooking and that helping in some way, shape, or form. So as far as you can tell, there's nothing soul stealing from these cookies. They were imbued with some kind of magic that is slowly winding down as the 24-hour period is approaching.
Is it, I guess, for the type of magic that it is, do I know what, like, is it enhancing magic or protective magic or things like that?
It's enhancing.
Okay. The cookies are magical. But it's the friendly kind. It's a lot like how your gumbo is made. They have an enhancing magic of some kind.
Told you the cookies were fine.
It's not the.
Well, we didn't know that for sure.
Also, their effects are on the decline at the moment, as I believe the spell that was used to weave them, that was woven into them, only lasts for 24 hours.
Oh no! Let me eat a cookie. Let me have one.
I want a cookie too.
And I'll look at Deodora before I eat it.
How many cookies are left?
7.
7 total are left?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'll look to Blacksmith like, well, if they're not bad cookies, I don't see the harm. There's like a big okay, you're just going for it. All right.
I ate a cookie.
I guess I'll take
It's one of those, like, if they're not bad,
Yeah. What kind of cookies are left?
Sugar and chocolate chip are remaining.
I'll take a sugar cookie.
Okay.
Are these gluten-free, non-GMO? No, I'm scared.
There is a
Oh my
option
god!
if you
I'm
want.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna roll.
Lord.
Okay. Does a 26 hit you?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, Robo? Yes.
I'm gonna use Great Weapon Master too, so that's actually a 21. Does 21 hit?
Oh, big time.
Okay, great.
Just get that extra 10. Weldor with like a bit of a frown. Cookies. That I don't think we had anything to worry about with the cookies. It's the person behind it. And I mean, speaking for myself, it's really easy to create connection with people with good food. Good snacks and desserts, even more so. I have to be honest, as infuriating as it is, pretty smart play.
And we did trust him. He gave us cookies.
There you go. And then you trusted me even before that.
What are
Wait, are you saying you're not to be trusted? Are you bad?
What are you saying?
Evil?
I ate many bowls of your gumbo. What are you saying?
You didn't have the gumbo checked.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Not one. Just kidding.
And rocks fall, everybody goes.
I did roll in that one. I 100% roll in that one.
Well, hey, you got it out of the circulation, and so you're now.
It turns out that Weldor is the one who summoned those creatures to begin with as soon as he got back, and that's
Who
why
put another raisin cookie in the bag?
Those of you that ate the sugar cookies, you get a +4 to add to your roll for the next 24 hours to 1 roll. If you ate a chocolate chip cookie, it's a +5. You get 1 roll that you can add that to.
Nice.
And that's it.
Okay.
So out of the cookies that are left, I ask everybody, what's your favorite cookie in this bag?
Chocolate chip.
I don't
Party
have
split.
one.
Okay. Then I eat
I like cookies.
I picked one of the cookies with chocolate on it.
I've always preferred the savory myself. Not a big sweet tooth, I suppose.
Do you have large teeth in
also
general?
another metaphor.
Ah.
Blackstone, the taste is familiar.
What memory does it take me to?
It's not a memory. It's that feeling of like deja vu. You've had one of these before. Maybe not this specific cookie, but you've had this combination of flavors before. And it does send off in your kind of brain. It's a good combination. It's not something that's causing pain. It's not something that's doing damage. It's sends almost a warm feeling through your circuits.
Cookies are pleasant things. Perhaps we should make these for the people in the tavern at some point.
Bad idea.
Great idea.
As I understand, they pair very well with savory things because people like food and desserts.
That's very true.
It is true. Have you ever dipped a chocolate cookie in melted cheese? It's actually fairly good, and it's hard to explain.
Rolling the hit again.
Can't say that I have.
Nat 20. Just kidding. It wasn't a nat 20.
Apparently you can choose on everything and it tastes better.
I get advantage because that was horrific. Okay, that's a 22 to hit.
Miss.
Liar.
I took dodge as my bonus action. Or as
You
my...
didn't declare it.
Because your perception wasn't high enough to hear it doesn't mean I didn't declare it.
My perception was my passive was like a 15. Nice try.
So is mine.
Roll a stealth check, get in that one.
What is happening?
16.
I don't know.
What is happening? You're
about to PvP.
Yeah, that's right. Stop it.
Not Diodoria.
Now I have a great idea for a one-shot where it's literally all of you against each other and it's over cookies.
I want that to happen.
Oh, that would be
Yes.
fun.
Hey, make
Yes.
it back
in
on
this
Patreon.
It's about to be over cookies dipped in cheese, which is an affront to food. That's what
Well, I
Rory
mean,
just said.
okay,
Y'all
but like, here's the
are-
thing, right?
Oh no, I was listening.
But no, like, here's the thing: we have cookies dipped in cheese. Counterpoint: French fries dipped in Frosties.
Okay, but I
It's like the same flavor.
Really good.
Anyways.
Anyways. Okay.
I love y'all so much.
Blackstone. What you showed us back there. I really appreciate that. And you just kind of like goes to like kind of almost like pantomime you taking your mask off.
Oh, well, you know, at some point, I suppose I'll have to explain the reason for all of this, but you were talking about trust in things, and, well, I suppose it's a lot easier to have people open up to you when you open up to them. But not physically. I found out that that is something that you are actually not capable of doing without causing yourself grievous amounts of harm.
Yeah. I believe that would be what they call an understatement. All right. Shall we go see if we've got monsters or people downstairs?
Yes. I believe that is I believe that is the next thing that we should do.
And then I think as per your request, Blackstone, a little bit of story time, and then I think we can head on out.
What time is it?
So at this point, it's probably mid-morning, getting really close to noon at this point. Because y'all literally had breakfast, went to Jeremy's to kind of investigate and chat for a bit, and then moved over to the tavern. So it's quickly approaching noon.
We should hurry before we lose light.
Agreed.
All right. And you descend down. Weldor, you've taken this path before. It's interesting because it's, instead of it being a straightforward set of stairs, it's a spiral staircase that's been carved into the roots of this mangrove, taking you down for a bit. You can see that there's more rooms, there's more people occupying those rooms, and then at one point you see it kind of dips to the right and the left. And on the right you can see that there is actually like a small living quarters. This seems to be where Aldira and Seamus actually live, like deep within the roots of the mangrove, as there's, you know, this rock kind of foundation, and then a set of doors leading to their section. You continue down further, and eventually the ground underneath you becomes more of a muck and mud. You can see very clear tracks as there's just dirt and these roots kind of hanging above you, deep further into this kind of much larger room. It's still not high ceilings, like I forget who's actually Aurea, probably your head is kind of just skimming the ceiling a bit, as you're walking, having to duck as these roots are kind of haphazardly set around this place. As you continue forward, it's colder down here, it's damper. There's a steady dripping of water, and after a few moments you round this bend and you see on either side of this corridor, almost in their own windows, it looks almost like sap has encased Jeremy and Levi, and you see kind of very tired, very leaning against the wall, Ignacio, looking completely wrecked, has not slept, and is kind of just sitting cross-legged, holding their hands out to either side and just kind of focusing, but you see every now and then his head starting to nod forward, you know, doing the dip of you've been in church and you've fallen asleep, but then kind of waking themselves up a little bit, and you can see the magic kind of flaring as that's happening, just trying to hold it as best as possible. There's a couple other villagers that are kind of standing there too with like swords just to give extra security with what little they do have, but and you see they kind of quickly turn and go to draw their swords as you all approach.
Easy, friends.
They kind of nod for a moment, giving a sheepish look between each other, and Ignacio's eyes kind of droop open, looking very bloodshot. Weldor, you actually see something that you haven't seen before on Ignacio. Ignacio has always prided himself in always looking grandeur, and perhaps that may or may not lead into some kind of charm that has helped to make him look a little bit younger than he usually does. You can see these deep set wrinkles that are on his forehead, streaks of gray that are kind of in his hair. The feather in his cap is still completely charred, looking like a rat's tail. And his skin is more ingrained with wrinkles and freckles and blemishes than you have ever seen him. Seemingly, he's putting all of his energy to keeping everything up and not keep his normal appearance.
Well, buddy, I believe you need to get off the clock.
I believe you be right. He kind of just looks at you. He's doing the droop, even though he's looking in your direction. He's so tired. I don't know what these things are, but you wanted them alive for a reason.
Yes, because at some point they were friends of ours.
These things were?
That was Levi. That was Jeremy.
I gotta be dreaming. This is...
Nah.
Like, he just kind of hits himself very lightly in the face, still kind of emitting the magic.
And they are still in their monstrous forms, I assume.
Correct.
And they are unconscious currently?
They
or
are currently
up
unconscious at this time.
Okay.
Yes. Like, as it kind of almost suspended. Again, it seems like it's being held by this sap, whether it's from the tree itself or it's Ignacio's magic. It's hard to tell. But at least for now, they are in some kind of suspended state.
So, not the best idea, but considering how long Levi's been gone, I would like to start with him. See if maybe we could figure out what, if anything, Levi knows of the currents going on. In the meantime, I think I can provide a bit of a guardian to help with maybe relieving you from those duties, Ignacio. And in the middle of the room, there is suddenly a small, like, greenish spark.
Okay.
Of what appears to be like this divine electrical energy. And it starts like about 10 feet wide and then continues to just the electricity begins to just spiral around and around and around. How tall is this foot to ceiling here?
In this section, it's a bit larger, with it being about 20 feet.
Great. As a 10-foot tall spectral turtle appears in the room. I'm casting Guardian of Faith.
Okay.
As it hovers and will stay in space of my choice for 8 hours.
Okay.
And there's another flash, and there's this large gleaming shield with the signal of Ashura on it, and a long gleaming sword as well.
Okay.
And any creature hostile to me that moves to a space within like 10 feet of the Guardian will need to make a dex save, and if they fail, they take 20 radiant damage.
Okay.
And the Guardian vanishes when he's dealt a total of like 60 damage.
Okay.
But it will sit here for 8 hours. And essentially, like, if anything goes awry, like it will take a shot at whoever.
Okay. You see, as that spectral kind of figure appears, Ignacio kind of just, oh my, as this thing like just appears in front of him, looking a bit more awake. and he kind of lowers his hands. The sap still holds in place. You can tell that his magic is still holding too, just to give that added. And then he immediately gestures to the two individuals that have been guarding him to help lift him up, having been holding the position now for several hours. And you see immediately he kind of like falls forward a bit, his legs a bit asleep and probably a little bit sore. And he'll give you a grateful look. Anything you need me to do?
Rest.
Best idea you've had all day. And he'll...
I really have a few. And you kind of, I kind of put a hand on his shoulder as they leave.
And you'll hear him slowly padding away. He doesn't seem to leave the floor, but he seems to just has moved elsewhere, so at least he can quietly nap.
Okay.
Leaving you all. Blackstone, Aurea, Theodora, and Toby, what are you doing during this time?
Observing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just watching, but I'm going to be ready.
Okay.
Theodora will turn to Weldor and say, "What are you planning on doing?"
I'm gonna wake him up one at a time and see if we can reach out to him.
I draw my sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toby gets ready for whatever.
Weldor.
Yes.
What is a thing that you share with people when you want to connect with them?
Food.
Okay. Blackstone then looks around the room, and if he doesn't see any, will go and look for a bowl.
And kind of seeing that, he kind of reaches into like a small satchel, and he actually has some leftover etouffee and jambalaya with on him. And to your earlier point, hopefully stories. But there is
Do they have bowls down here? Do they have bowls down here? No, that's a question that I ask out loud to the party.
Upstairs, perhaps, but are there any objections to this plan? I'm happy to hear them. Or if anyone thinks this is a bad idea, we should just leave now. I'm totally happy to discuss that too.
I'm just going to shout over my shoulder, "It'll be a bad idea for you to do that before I come back with a bowl." And then I run upstairs to go get a bowl.
Oh, all right.
Okay. You're running all the way
in
upstairs?
stasis until we get a bowl.
Yeah.
I am it's like a full-on sprint because we have things to do. So I'm
Sure.
trying to take 2 stairs at a time to get to the bowl.
You get to the top, and you see that it takes you a moment, I think, actually, and you do recall that people were getting mugs as they had run out of a bowl.
Sounds about right.
So there are currently mugs you can grab, but there's no bowls or plates that can be used at this time.
Are there really?
And Weldor still has teacups on him.
Yeah.
And all his chef stuff, so.
Recalculating.
Okay. Basically, this is what Black Zone is doing in real time. Do I just get a couple of cups and hope that this works, or do I go to somebody's house and take one of the bowls out of their house and bring that back here?
That is up to you and Blackstone. What do you think?
I am going to go and I'm going to grab a couple of cups because I don't know how much time I have.
Sure. Okay.
I just go and grab cups and I leave, and I'm just like, sorry, I have to borrow this. I'll bring them back, and then I just run back downstairs.
Perfect. And you do see that there were a couple that had not been used, like leftover. Everyone's been kind of eating, and you see Seamus kind of gives you the look of, okay, as you kind of just grab and go.
I'm gone.
Like, has the more of a I don't want to know kind of look on his face. But you have several mugs.
And then you just see me come back downstairs with like a small armful of mugs. Like, I think this will do.
All right. Seems like a good place to start. All right. In your absence, I did think of an idea, though. Is there anything that we can glean before they wake up? Thoughts inside their minds, perhaps?
Okay.
Are they awake or asleep?
Asleep. Or unconscious, I suppose.
What do they look like right now?
The monster forms that they were when we took them down.
So one looks
Right?
like a rather large crab. Not like a Dungeness crab. More, they have like much larger kind of legs, very reminiscent of like a snow crab. Large kind of mandibles, one for kind of grabbing and the other for kind of smashing. And instead of a bright red color, it's more of like a brown and gray. Very large. That's to one side. And then the other is this kind of hulking figure that their shoulders have kind of connected, so there's an oval above where actually their head would normally be. Their head is actually much lower. And you can see a person's face, unconscious, but kind of is right there. Large, lumbering kind of arms, wearing appears to be some kind of leather pants and boots, but otherwise is shirtless. Those are the two creatures that, while you dealt with the crab, Toby, you did not deal with this other creature. You saw it around, but you didn't directly engage with it in battle.
Okay. So, Halo appears over Blackstone's head, and I am going to use detect thoughts to see, what thoughts are happening.
Okay. And which one are you doing it on?
I will start with the giant enemy crab because I think that was one of the ones that Weldor was asking about.
Okay. So you do detect thoughts. And
I don't know if a sleeping creature gets to make a wisdom saving throw, but they can.
yeah. I'm gonna kind of just play it as is because I would think that they wouldn't, just because their defenses are down in this time being. You see a very familiar symbol flaring up as you're kind of passing through, and your mind is connecting with theirs even for the briefest of moments. And
I remember seeing this symbol before.
it's the same one that has been on behind Greenwich and was burning at one point.
So that is the thing that you hear Blackstone say. The party can hear Blackstone say that out loud in a low tone.
You get... It's not a complete thought. It's almost like words kind of being thrown against the wall. But there's an underlying rage. It is unlike anything you have felt. There's no other emotion that's present right now. The rage is what is taking up absolutely everything and draining any possibility for other emotions to appear, at this time at least. It's a rage
I am angry
against It could be a specific person. You immediately get an image of Deodora coming into your head. But then it's the world. It's hard to cipher through. It's almost like you're moving through mud. This rage is one that is not fire. It weighs you down as you were trying to push through it. But it's almost like it's trying to make sense of the rage, but isn't sure of it either. You get more of an idea that this person is questioning, but it's also so bogged down and tired that it's really, really difficult to kind of gauge anything else.
And I imagine that because it's a dream, it's one of those things like if a person were awake and thinking clearly, they would be like straight lines or more structured types of thoughts. But because it's a dream, it's very like random and a little bit more chaotic, and not everything makes sense.
Roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay, perception. That is a 23.
Okay. Amongst the mud that you're kind of wading through, you see in the distance Jeremy's house. Not a bright light. It's dilapidated. It's almost like this is how he was perhaps seeing this. And when you do you push forward or do you stay where you're at?
I do.
You push forward.
Yep.
You push forward, and the mud is getting deeper. At this point, you're wading past your knees to your waistline. And you're still being able to push through, but you are every now and then just feeling more of that rage kind of emitting. You get to the platform where Jeremy's house is, and you see him sleeping in the cot on the floor. Place is a mess. And then you hear a voice. It's subtle. It's layered within the rage thoughts that are coming through. You see hovered to the side, near where Jeremy is sleeping, on the opposite side of the wall, there is a small, kind of hunched over individual that's kind of mumbling. And you see this small kind of wave of magic drifting downwards to what might be below Jeremy, but also some of it is permeating into Jeremy's home. And you're seeing him sleeping fitfully, and there's movement below. I need you to make a wisdom savings throw, please.
I'm going to use that +5 now.
Go for it.
Yep, so that's going to be a 17 on that wisdom saving throw.
Okay. You feel a tug, and you realize that roots have kind of grabbed around your waist and are starting to pull you backwards. As you pull yourself with just enough energy, not immersing yourself into that rage. You will still take 5 points of necrotic damage, but you are not lost within the rage or this dream. You are yourself again. The rest of you kind of see Blackstone going rigid and kind of not moving, but doing that kind of movement, like stepping forward rather, but doing the movement with the shoulders of like they're stretching. And then you can hear through the mask like heavy breath. Not that necessarily Blackstone needs to breathe, but it's the effort, the strain. And then all of a sudden kind of steady.
And that's the thing. I think Theodora and Ori especially would know, like that that indicates effort, because Blackstone hasn't needed to do any of these things. And I just see Jeremy lying there, and this subtle magic feeding into the dreams that they're having.
You did, as you are pushed out of the dream, just basically preventing yourself from going too far and diving too far into that dream, losing yourself into it. You pulled out of the dream and basically see Jeremy shifting from laying in front of you as they were before they changed to this large kind of crab. Even in its sleep, pincers are still slowly moving.
He's so angry, lost in his thoughts about things, but not entirely. He's unsure and he has questions. And also, there is some magical influence at work that's keeping him this way.
So even still,
Would you allow me to try something?
what did you have in mind?
Maybe I can make that magic go away.
All right.
I don't think you want to try wading into the mud that it took to get there.
Huh?
What do you mean?
I use... You know what? I am... we're gonna have like a theatric moment. So there is like... Just because this is how Blackstone would imagine these things, it's like you see a bunch of trees. See a bunch of trees. None of them have leaves. They're like half of some of the trees are just missing or rotted away. It looks like a kind of decrepit swamp, and in the middle of it is a shack, and then surrounded by it for several hundred feet is what looks like really thick mud, and in a couple of places quicksand. And then I explain he's in that house somewhere.
Then it's likely Levi is in a similar state then, if not worse. Simply due to the longevity.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to add an important detail. And the scene pans up a bit, and in the sky is mostly clouds, and in the place the moon would be is this giant glowing symbol that's circular with a curve through the center, and the curve is covered in thorns.
I was just about to ask if I've seen this symbol before.
You have. Do you need a reminder where?
Just in case.
Sure. You know, and it was a very brief sighting of it rather. A little outside of Felk, there's a small outcropping of stones. And in the middle, there's what it almost looks like a tombstone or like a tomb in itself where there's a large rock and then kind of a placement around it. And on the side, etched almost like graffiti, marked. It's about, you would know this to be probably within an hour outside of Felk.
Also to the northwest?
Correct. So past it.
All right.
This is the same symbol that I saw when I tried to connect with Greenwich before she transformed.
The same symbol that was on those minotaurs. The ones that we fought before we realized that Pityweather was involved. This symbol of... what was that? Ouroboros?
Does it mean anything?
It means a lot of very bad things.
What do I know about the Ouroboros, Jordan?
Why don't you do a history check?
Uh, 17.
17. Not much. It's hasn't been uncommon, especially in your years of travel and now being in Vybrin, for not necessarily fads, but popularity of gods or patrons, groups have come and gone. You certainly have heard the name before, but it's been a long time. You know, based upon that Felk was at least in opposition to whatever the Ouroboros was doing. And they were definitely at one point at war. But much like Felk is believed to have been annihilated, the same is true for Ouroboros.
All right. I've also seen this before. The symbol. Just once. Ironically, near the location of where we're headed. So all seems to be very closely knit together.
That means there are very potential dangers we might have to deal with, because the people who are dealing with these things are the kind of people who are not afraid to use magic that will kill people for speaking about them.
Well, if, as much as I would love to peek in under the covers of whatever's happening with Levites, I think it's my assumption or my hypothesis that we would just get confirmation of the same, unless y'all think it might be worth validating that.
Well, I will. We can check. These things don't take terribly long, I suppose. So,
are you going to be all right?
I just kind of look at Weldor, and it's not like you can see what his face looks like, but if you could, there would be a wry smile here, and it's kind of like, oh, I have to be. We have a task.
My own words being used against me. I respect it.
During that time, Aurea, Theodora, Toby, what are you doing?
Ori's still just kind of standing there watching. She's not
Okay.
anything.
Let me just try this first and to see. I wasn't strong enough, but now I feel like I might be able to do something. And I walk up to the creature, and I cast Dispel Magic on it.
Okay.
As you walk by, I cast guidance on you.
There is a magical barrier that is separating you all from the creatures. So, are you dispelling the wall essentially first before stepping forward, or what?
This wall was put by someone here.
Yeah, Ignacio.
Ignacio.
Yeah.
Then.
So I guess the question is like if detect thoughts worked, right? Is it because it's like a physical like incantation? Is that the okay?
Yeah.
Not debating it. I was just curious around
No,
the
no,
thought
no,
process.
no. It's a good question. Yeah, that was something
okay.
just to set the scene, like they are kind of suspended behind things. So detect thoughts. Things from this side can go through. Things going outward can't. But if the dispel magic comes into place, then the wall would drop, is what I was basically trying to...
So dispel magic is not touch or anything, so it's anything within range without still...
It would still impact the wall since...
Impact the wall?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'll... If I can just get Ignacio to drop the wall, I might be able to do something for just a second.
He's still here.
Yeah.
Right?
He just moved away, but he's
Perhaps this is a permissive magic. Well, let me go find out. Ignacio.
You wander over.
I do.
You find him kind of perfectly on his side, curled up on a root. He's pulled his cloak so it's underneath him, so he's not getting dirty in the dirt and the mud. And it's just like he's leaning on his hat, and his one eye just kind of pops open. He's like, "I was just starting to drop off. What?"
Well, one of our friends wants to see if they can walk through the barrier over there. Do you have a means to let him do that?
Which one are you trying to do?
The crab.
We're doing the lizard.
The other one.
Which one are we doing?
The lizard.
Oh, the lizard?
So, Levi. Okay. You kind of see he looks... Are you sure about that?
Well, one of our friends here, points at Toby, wanted to walk through the barrier to deal with that because we don't know what danger the creature might pose outside.
Well.
But yes, he is certain of it. He makes interesting choices.
Well, I mean...
The special total guardian is standing right in front of it, by the way.
He'll kind of look over, still a bit concerned, but upon seeing Toby and the determined look on Toby's face. Alright. Well, I'll have it ready if it needs to pop back up, though it looks like Weldor has a handle too. And he kind of just snaps his finger, and you all see this kind of, it's almost like a curtain dropping as the sap on that side slowly moves to the ground.
And as soon as I sense that the wall is down, I just extend my hand, and like leaves sprout out and just cover this creature in every single way, and start glowing teal. And I cast Dispel Magic. So I'm gonna try to dispel whatever the effect on this creature is having right now to just turn back into what's his face?
Levi.
Okay. Do I need to roll anything? How do we do this?
So any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, I gotta do an ability check using my spellcasting ability.
So you will need to do an ability check.
Okay, so the DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay.
So I'll just roll and see.
Yeah. And add a D4 to it.
Yeah, you do have guidance.
And did you eat a cookie?
I did.
Yeah.
You?
Well, that was another.
If you want to use the cookie. If you ate a chocolate, it was a +5. If you ate a sugar, it was +4.
Okay, it was the chocolate one. Well, that's 21.
Okay. You feel the magic taking effect. And for a moment you see the figure kind of shifting and there's some grunting as Levi's starting to wake up and is in a great deal of pain as this transformation is happening and shifting from this kind of large hulking creature back to the humanoid that you know, have known for years, Weldor. And you just see this look of fear and recognition hitting his face as he looks in your direction and his eyes lock on Weldor. And that is where we're going to end for today.
Oh. Damn it.
Holy shit.
Well done, Toby.
Well done, Toby.
Yeah.
We will find out what this means on June 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah.
For a minute there, I was like,
Boo,
fuck.
next
maybe-
week. Boo.
Fuck. For a minute there, I was like, damn, maybe we shouldn't have come down here. And now I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yep. Well, we will find out what that means next
Eat
week.
shit, Belsarian.
I know, right? Suck
Eat
it.
my ass. Eat my ass, Belsarian.
Say it with your chest.
Amazing job today, y'all. Thank you so much. Especially we had some tech difficulties. Thank you for being patient while that was getting sorted. And so very much appreciate that. Again, please go check out Kaboa. It is live on Kickstarter right now. It's phenomenal. I've been looking at the artwork so much. So highly recommend checking that out. Reminder, we will be off next week, but if you are trying to catch up on this episode or last episode, stay tuned on the socials as I'll be announcing what time the marathon will start. It'll play last week's episode and today's in preparation for when we get back here. Go check out anything you wanted to plug real quick again as a reminder since we are getting out of here. Duval Robo Fair.
Duval Dragons episode 54, twitch.tv/Swimrunner Games, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And then Outcast and Outclassed this coming Thursday over on Waffles Maple Syrup.
Phenomenal. Robo, was there anything?
Emerald Templars at 6 p.m. on Latinos in Gaming channel tomorrow.
Love it. Fair?
Aid request from my friend Jess, who is being forced out of her home. Link in chat. And then commission Jordan for things. Join her Start Playing Games if you want to play in Ampistrano, because she has one-shots for Ampistrano, and it'll be a lot of fun. So you should check those out at her Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. We are going to get out of here and do a raid. So we'll catch y'all very soon. And take care of yourselves. And we'll see you next time from Beyond the Veil. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.